The classroom smelled of chalk, old furniture, and tension. The students sat in their cliques, whispering, giggling, exchanging glances as the new girl sat quietly at the back. Her name was Lila. She had transferred here only 3 days ago, and already, the whispers followed her everywhere. Her long, silky black hair had become the cruel center of attention. The popular girls, Jessica, Chloe, and Mia, had labeled her the creepy Rapunzel, mocking her for her quiet demeanor and old-fashioned look. Lila didn't speak back. Not because she couldn't, but because she'd promised her father she wouldn't cause trouble. After all, this was supposed to be a fresh start. The teacher left the room for 10 minutes. That's all it took for the storm to strike. Jessica, with her usual smug expression, sauntered toward Lila's desk. Chloe followed with her phone out, already recording. Mia, the follower, snickered like a sidekick who lacked her own courage. Jessica leaned down, her eyes glinting with cruelty, and said loud enough for the room to hear, "Since you like hiding behind this curtain of hair, why don't we give you a proper haircut?" Lila's heart froze. Before she could react, Jessica pulled out scissors, pink, glittery, probably stolen from the art room, and with one swift, vicious snip, severed a thick lock of Lila's hair. Gasps rippled through the class. A boy even laughed. Chloe's camera captured everything. Lila's fingers trembled as they touched the uneven, ugly cut. Her breath came in short, shallow bursts. But she said nothing. Not a word. Instead, she stood up, calmly gathered the strands from her desk, and walked out of the room, her head high. No one could have predicted what would happen next. Because Lila didn't go home. She went to the principal's office. She didn't go there to complain. No. She went there to ask one favor, access to the gym after school hours. Permission was granted easily. No one questioned the quiet, polite girl's request. What no one knew was that Lila wasn't just quiet. She wasn't just different. She was the daughter of a national martial arts coach, raised in discipline, trained in silence, a black belt in taekwondo and self-defense. The humiliation wasn't something she would cry about. It was something she would turn into strength. That afternoon, while the rest of the students scrolled through Chloe's viral video of the haircut incident, Lila changed in the empty locker room into her training uniform. Punches hit the bag. Kicks sliced the air. Sweat poured down her face, not from exhaustion, but from focus, precision, planning. Every strike was a step closer to taking back her dignity. And fate, it seemed, would hand her the perfect opportunity. The school announced an upcoming event, a talent exhibition. Anyone could participate. Lila signed up immediately under a name no one recognized, simply L. When the list was posted, no one noticed her. No one cared. Not even the bullies. They were too busy relishing their 15 minutes of online fame. But the moment would come. And it would shock everyone. Chapter 2, the comeback no one saw coming. The auditorium buzzed with excitement. Parents, teachers, and students packed the seats. The talent show was supposed to be lighthearted, singers, dancers, a magician, the usual acts. When the name, L, appeared on the list, no one paid attention. The bullies were backstage, fixing their makeup, whispering about how they might, accidentally, trip Lila during her performance, if she even dared to show up. Lila did show up. But not as the girl they knew. She stepped onto the stage in her martial arts uniform. The room fell silent. Her hair, now trimmed evenly into a sharp bob, framed her face with determination. Jessica snorted from the front row. Chloe pulled out her phone again. Mia rolled her eyes. What's she gonna do, karate chop the microphone? Lila bowed to the judges, to the audience, to the moment itself. And then, she moved. What followed wasn't a performance. It was a statement. A flawless, fierce display of strength and control. High kicks that sliced inches from the ceiling lights. Breaks of wooden boards in midair with a single, powerful strike. Spins and precision techniques that left the entire audience breathless. The applause began hesitantly, grew louder, roared into a standing ovation. Even the teachers exchanged looks of awe. The gym coach, who had mocked her when she asked for late practice time, now clapped the loudest. Jessica's face drained of color. Chloe's phone trembled in her hands. Mia actually whispered, "We're in trouble." Because Lila didn't stop at the demonstration. When her routine ended, she walked to the microphone. Calmly, clearly, she addressed the crowd. 3 days ago, someone thought cutting my hair would cut my spirit. Thank you, Jessica, Chloe, Mia, for reminding me why I trained so hard. For showing me how weakness hides behind cruelty. My father once said, never use your strength to humiliate. Only to protect. I'm not here for revenge. I'm here to show every quiet kid watching, you don't need to be loud to be powerful. Silence. Then a roar of applause. The principal rose from his seat. Lila, he said into his own mic, you've taught this school more in 5 minutes than most of us learn in years. Jessica tried to slip out. Too late. The principal added, and those who recorded and encouraged bullying will face the consequences starting Monday. Chloe's face paled. By the end of the night, Lila wasn't the weird new girl. She was the girl who turned humiliation into triumph. She walked home with her head high, knowing she had inspired others, knowing that strength doesn't need an audience, but when it finds one, it can change everything. To everyone watching this story unfold, remember, never underestimate the quiet ones. Subscribe for more powerful, real-life inspired stories where strength defeats cruelty, and justice always finds its voice.